He iho ano luna e pia ano lalo e hui ana na moku e ku ana kapaia. He iho ano luna e pia ano lalo e hui ana na moku e ku ana kapaia. He iho ano luna e pia ano lalo e hui ana na moku e ku ana kapaia. E ku kanaka. E ku haaheo.
Captured by the guns from the land of the free, country within the country, in the middle of the sea. We are poor in spirit, poor in health, pushed aside by greed and wealth. Time to sing a sovereignty. Children of the fire clans, terror growers, fishermen, lift your voices all together, make your stand, control your destiny, live out your fantasy. Hawaiian blood, set yourself free, sing a song of sovereignty. Our fathers died, that's all may be free. Our mothers cried, asking why should it be that we lose our sons and our lovers who fought for the rights of others, when our nation cries to be free. Children of the fire clans, taro growers, fishermen, lift your voices all together, make your stand, control your destiny, live out your fantasy. Hawaiian blood, set yourself free, sing a song of sovereignty. Sweet is a song sung in close harmony, each voice rejoicing in one melody. If we would just come together, listen closely to each other, freedom will come peacefully. Children of the fire clans, taro growers, fishermen, lift your voices all together, make your stand, control your destiny, live out your fantasy. Hawaiian blood, set yourself free, sing a song of sovereignty. Children of the fire clans, taro growers, fishermen, lift your voices all together, make your stand, control your destiny, live out your fantasy. Hawaiian blood, set yourself free, sing a song of sovereignty.
Searching for a way to be like my kupuna who came before me. And please forgive me, 'cause I couldn't see this opuni you left for me. Hawaiian kingdom, oh, the kingdom, and occupy kingdom. Resolution could ever take from me my aupuni, my nationality, Hawaiian kingdom.
KKCR Honolulu, KAQA Kilauea. The music of Kamau, Hawaiian Kingdom. Hey, I want to say a big aloha to Brother Doug Herman over in Washington, D.C. this morning, listening in with his new wife, Dawn Niederman. Pretty amazing people. I had a great time with them. They were here last week. Working on a website called pacificworlds.com, and it's all about Ha'ena. So if you love the North Shore, you could check that site out. It's called pacificworlds.com. Want to say a special aloha to the Ivory Coast and Africa listening in this morning. I'm so honored that you chose our radio station and my show to tune in. Mahalo nui loa to you. Aloha over in Africa. Also our friends in Japan, Canada, Germany, Switzerland, and Denmark listening in this morning. Springfield, Oregon is tuned in. I want to say big alohas to Rick and Tanya, Joyce and John and Stacy, all of my gang over there in Veneta. I know I missed the Oregon Country Fair. I gotta go next year. All of our friends over in York, Ontario, Canada listening in this morning. San Francisco is on the internet with us listening in. San Marcos, Texas. Canyon, California. Chelsea, Massachusetts. Hayward, California. Let's see. Buxton, Maine. I haven't seen you online. This is the first time I've seen you guys online. Welcome to Kauai Community Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Mill Valley, California, Fairfield, Iowa, Bend, Oregon. That's my dear mermaid friend, Kristen, listening in this morning. Much aloha to you. Augusta, Maine. Oh, all the East Coasters, yeah, listening in. Flagstaff, Arizona. Abidjan, the Ivory Coast. I really want to say special alohas to you over there in Africa listening in. Hopefully I can get over there sometime. I really want to go check out your home. Brookings, Oregon. Kailua Kona is online this morning with us. Oakland listening in. How's it, Oakland? Ronert Park, California. Let's see who else. White Horse, Canada. Wenatchee, Washington, listening in. Altsee, Deutschland. Guten Morgen to you from our tiny little island over here in Hawaii. We love you, Germany. Abington, Massachusetts. Sherman Oaks, California, listening in. Seattle, Washington. San Diego, Oakland. Menlo Park, Lebanon, Tennessee. Ooh, I've not seen you guys online. It looks like you've been online for a while now. And share with your family and friends, if you're listening in online, that you can tune in and be on Kauai anytime by going to kkcr.org. And I wanted to say this morning, because I always forget, I want to thank my cousin Louis Kaninau Kabibi. His show is Himeni o Hawaii before me, but every Wednesday he does Apule for us. And I believe that all of our endeavors should start first in the spiritual realm, and then we bring it into action. So your faith into action kind of thing. So I want to say a big aloha to my cousin Louis and Andrew, who come in every Wednesday and get everyone warmed up for the Songs of Sovereignty. We're going to be back in a little bit. I've got some good stuff to share with you. I never really got a chance to share my experience in Washington, D.C. with you. So I'm going to do that. First, I want to play this song for you. I've been thinking a lot about you, Mike Young. Yeah, if you miss Mike, let me get a hello clap of a hand here. Amen. We miss you, Mike. I want to play Mike Young's song for you this morning, Our Queen's Unanswered Prayer. And at the end of this song is our Queen's prophecy. And if you are familiar with the Bible, she speaks about a curse. And if you are familiar with the Bible, and even if you're not, you can see that curse today in action, that it's actually come to fruition with the United States of America. Love the honest Americans. Want to be your friend, not your captive, and not your servant. Want to be your friend. And honest Americans, I hope you'll listen through the end of the show as we take you on a little journey through history. You can, if you're an honest American listening in and you don't know anything about Hawaiian sovereignty, you can go to hawaiiankingdom.info and learn about the true political history of Hawaii. Also, you can join me on Facebook on Songs of Sovereignty. And in the meantime, I'm going to let the music take you through history in a little bit. So here's a song for you by Mike Young. It's called Our Queen's Unanswered Prayers. And you're listening to KKCR Hanalei. Pay attention to the curse that she talks about at the end. The scourge that comes upon you when you steal, when you lie, when you cheat, when you murder. A scourge befalls you. And this is what we see happening today in the United States. So take a listen to this song. It's one of my favorites.
When Lili Uhokalani locked in her palace prayed to the Lord Almighty, I wonder what she said. Was it bless our home and people, keep them safe from harm? Friends have now betrayed us, we did them no wrong. They were our friends and allies, we let them come in peace. Help me to forgive those whose hearts are filled with greed. Does anybody hear our Queen's unanswered prayers? Our Queen's unanswered prayers. Our Queen's unanswered prayers. I can see our royal queen praying on humble knees, so all alone. Can you imagine that, being told your sovereign land's no longer home? Tell me who is wrong. Lili Uhokalani, loyal will remain. Kings and queens before us, we vow to do the same. 100 years have come and gone now. Time is close at hand. Oh, younger generations, heed the call and stand. We'll restore our lawful nation, all natives of our land. Reclaim our given birthrights, the rights of every man. Every nation soon will hear our Queen's unanswered prayers. Friends and allies will adhere to our Queen's unanswered prayers. Our Queen's unanswered our queens unanswered prayers, our queens unanswered prayers.
Oh, honest Americans, as Christians, hear me for my downtrodden people. Their form of government is as dear to them as yours is as precious to you. Quite warmly as you love your country, so they love theirs. With all your goodly possessions covering a territory so immense that there yet remain parts unexplored, possessing islands that, although new at hand, had to be neutral ground in time of war, do not covet the little vineyard of Naboth, so far from your shores, lest the punishment of Ahab fall upon you, if not in your day, in that of your children. For be not deceived, God is not mocked. The people whom your fathers told of the living God and taught to call Father, and now whom the sons now seek to despoil and destroy, are crying aloud to him in their time of trouble, and he will keep his promise and will listen to the voices of his Hawaiian children, lamenting for their homes.
More deadly than the treacherous and treasonous crimes foreign insurgents perpetrated against the kingdom of Hawai'i is the arrogance with which they raise their swords. They have betrayed a loving people who had welcomed, sustained, and fattened them, with the arrogant notion that we were a people incapable of self-determination, regardless of the historical truth that we had sustained a spiritual, happy, and healthy existence long before their ancestors had ever set foot on our pristine shores. We and only we know best what is good for us and the land we love, worship, and cherish. We had educated our children to consider only the best of both worlds and to be fruitful in all their works, that we may all prosper. But the government which stole my throne is interested only in prosperity for the few. Instead of my people serving the land that gave us all life, they are enslaved by the system that serves my people cultural death. While imprisoned by the foreign insurgents, I began to translate the Kumulipo, our ancient creation chant. For me, this daily work was an affirmation of who we were and longed to remain. Outside my prison walls, I knew our children were being beaten for speaking Hawaiian at school, that our spiritual and traditional medical practitioners were being driven to the mountains to hide in caves, that our sacred lands were being desecrated, our elders berated, their native tongue silenced out of fear for the children. Upon my release, I went to Washington, D.C. to appeal to Congress to deny annexation and return our people to their rightful place. But the prayers of my people, nor the pleadings of their queen, could penetrate the cold steel hearts of the mere men who thought little of the rights of God's people. I am old now, powerless to help my beloved children who come to my empty breasts for nourishment, who gaze through the iron fences surrounding their ancestral lands, my beloved children whose eyes are dull, their songs silenced. But I know this: as long as there is one among them who knows the truth of their birthright, he will teach another, who in turn will teach another, and on and my people will rise and once again stand as the nation they once were, the Hawaiian nation.
Conspired with some missionaries and forced us into slavery.
Akua o Kalani, oh hear our plea, protect us from harm and set us free.
In 1921, the Congress did agree to divide our people right in half and prolong the piracy.
Akua o Kalani, we pray to thee, grant us your wisdom and serenity.
Then in 1941, the planes came roaring in, and martial law was declared on the land, and they took our families away.
Akua o Kalani, oh hear our plea, protect us from harm and set us free.
And in 1959, constitutional democracy robbed Hawaii of its independence and took away a chance to be free.
Akua o Kalani, we pray to thee, grant us your wisdom and serenity.
Now in 1994, the story has been told, a presidential apology to make the nation whole.
Akua o Kalani, we pray to thee. Akua o Kalani, oh hear our plea. Akua o Kalani, set us free. Akua o Kalani, we pray to thee. Akua o Kalani, oh hear our plea. Akua o Kalani, set us free. Akua o Kalani,
man, and wash him face in the frying pan. Well, and comb him hair with a broken chair. My old man, him the good old man. Yeah, no.
E kuku ele makule, kanaka mai kai. Holo e onda maka i te papalai. E kahi kona la oho, me ka noho lo KKCR. E kuku ele makule, e kanaka mai kai.
Hey, hey, so tell a fly, don't be sitting on me. I'm quiet here. When I'm feeling like the Hawai'i. Oh, 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 oh. Tell a fly, don't be sitting on me.
Nuko kipu kai ke aloha. Honi i ka radiation. Coming suicide Hawaiian hope waiting list. Kika ke meka donke no ke ia. Ukum bulyo lukum kamambaya. Heaven only happens when you mark it retire. You better trust to push your step a little higher. Kiko make a monkey no ke ia.
People, the moral fiber of any society is perpetually dependent on the morality of kolako maukeke. And it appears that we who are in this present dysfunctional state, which illegally happens to be the 50th, have come to realize that it is in your mind that's relative to your spirit that controls the motions or the lacking thereof of all them Kanaka bodies in question, conservation, or colonization. So, Lila, brothers and sisters, at this present juncture in time, we, the Aboriginal people of this iron-colored heaven, find ourselves caught in the crosshairs of a society that had just been discovered, now find ourselves lost. And finally, with all this incoming progressive movement, we recognize that we are in a funk of moral constipation that is in immediate need of rectification, just spiritual anima. Can you sit on that, people? When I'm feeling like the Kukai. Oh, 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 oh. Tell the fly, don't sit on me. Take it now, brother. Well, up in the call it deficit. The Catholics call it sin. The brother Islam said it's infidels again. Wow, the Mormons don't like it. Protestants, the heights of Kapalama. The fly said it's all the foreign Kukai, blah, blah. Tell the fly, don't sit on me. Oh yeah, I've been telling you when I'm feeling like a pile of kukai. Oh yeah. Tell the fly, don't sit on me. Oh, one more time. Tell the fly, don't sit on me.
Well, the day when they said that the warriors who live forever know they have gone and they're only living in the legends now. You can hear the spirits crying in the wind, lost without a trace at all. Left their writings on the wall, famous battles of long ago. Where did all the people go? I wish I knew what happened there. Who and who were famous men? Won't you blow? Tell me what I want to know. Should I walk tall and be proud, or all the spirits crying loud? What would happen here today
nothing looks the same. Another golf course, another high-rise, ain't it insane? Another Hawaiian bites to dust, another family must move. Well, I'm feeling so helpless, I just keep singing the brown man blues. Brown man blues.
Well, I remember a time when me and Papa used to fish, catch a share and head on home, prepare my favorite dish. Son, those days don't come no more, enough fishes before they hit the shore.
While I'm feeling so helpless, I just keep singing the brown man blues. Look what's happened, look around. Look who's running this crazy town. Look who's making all the laws. Look who ends up with it all.
Friends and faces that I used to know.
Friends I used to know.
Wondering if they're still around or if they hit the road.
Hit the road.
Did they leave on their own free will, or just because they couldn't pay the bill?
Well, I'm feeling so helpless, I just keep singing the brown man blues. Would you work it out and what would you do? Much would you take if it were you? Fed up with the changes that come with time. Look to the source, to a new nation's rise. Well, every day I look around me, nothing looks the same.
Another golf course, another high-rise, ain't it insane?
Another Hawaiian bites the dust, another family must move. Well, I'm feeling so helpless, I just keep singing the brown man blues. Brown man blues.
Well, they're taking all our slippers.
Sun has been waiting.
They're taking all our clothes.
Waiting is turning.
Living in a tent.
Sun has been waiting.
'Cause nothing ever holds. Brown man, I'm tired and I'm angry.
Sun has been waiting.
I'm being pushed around.
Waiting is turning.
You better watch your step.
Sun has been waiting.
I'm gonna stand my ground.
Brown man blues. Brown man blues. Sun is waiting.
Navigator made our path just right. Set our feet upon the sand, 'cause we're Polynesian. Indigenous, can't you see? Kanaka Maoli, can't you see that? That was so long ago, my friend, when spirits used to roam the land. But that was just a tale, they say. Those stories all went to the grave. The kings and queens of yesterday ruled with a mighty hand, they say. Yeah, but the people lived in harmony. It all seems like a dream to me. My people came from across the sea, from a distant land. Proud people are we. We rode on canoes, traveled by the moon and stars at night, crossed the ocean blue. Navigator made our path just right, set our feet upon the sand, 'cause we're Polynesian. Indigenous, can't you see? Kanaka Maoli, can't you see that? Then one day some strangers came with new ideas, their values weren't the same. They brought disease to one and all, and made us slaves to alcohol. Many of our people died. They could never, ever take our pride. The ownership of land was new, and they took advantage of that too. My people came from across the sea, from a distant land. Proud people are we. We rode on canoes, traveled by the moon and stars at night, crossed the ocean blue. Navigator made our path just right, set our feet upon the sand, 'cause we're Polynesian. Indigenous, can't you see? Kanaka Maoli, can't you see that? No longer where we're all alone. The foreigners invaded our home. Our way of life would never be the same again, that's history. It's a choice of do or die. To overcome, we all must strive. Our children all must carry on, to fight the fight and sing their song. My people came from across the sea, from a distant land. Proud people are we. We rode on canoes, traveled by the moon and stars at night, crossed the ocean blue. Navigator made our path just right, set our feet upon the sand, 'cause we're Polynesian. Indigenous, can't you see? Kanaka Maoli, can't you see that? Can't you see that? Can't you see that?
Ihe akula ko kako ho'ilina in Hawai'i. Where did it all go? Our ancestral lands of Hawai'i.
Distributed everywhere, owned by foreign hands. Tell us, how has this been done? We can't understand, for we are Hawaii. Why do we not speak our ancestral tongue of Hawaii? Why do we not speak our ancestral tongue of Hawaii? Forced to speak the language of a foreign land, loss of our identity, that was the command. Where is Hawaii? What can we all do? The descendants of Hawaii. O ke aha ke ala, e hele ai, e na Hawaii. Do this for our children, it's in our hands. Seek our genealogy to save our land. Learn to speak our language so we can stand. Kuha'a heo kako e na Hawaii. Learn to speak our language so we can stand. Seek our genealogy to save our lands. Do this for our children, it's in our hands. Kuha'a heo kako e na Hawaii. Kuha'a heo kako e na Hawaii. Kuha'a heo kako e na Hawaii.
Music by Mel Amina, and you're listening to KKCR Honolulu, KAQA Kilauea.
What is the price of justice? For too many years we've suffered in pain. They said annexation would help us, but for who was the profit and gain? From one generation to the next, the issue just could not be put to rest. Apology is one thing, but restitution must be done. One heart, one voice, one people, to stand as one. The truth shall be made known, and it shall set us free. The queen was forced to relinquish the throne for the rebels to have amnesty. Tried to initiate a new constitution to restore power to the monarchy. She did not act in retaliation to avoid the shed of innocent blood.
Let's keep this ship above the water. Don't let it go down. Sail away from Bora Bora. Holokai. Our past will lead us on. Help keep the culture strong. Let's keep this ship above the water. Don't let it go down. For all the sons and daughters, Holokai. We took the children and all that we could carry and made our getaway. We took seeds and stories passed down from our fathers to help us find the way. We'll spend our days in peace. We'll grow the food we eat. With every new day we will thank the mighty sea, and we shall live in freedom. Yes, we shall live in freedom. Let's keep this ship above the water. Don't let it go down. Sail away from Bora Bora. Holokai. Gotta keep this ship above the water. Won't let it go down. For all the sons and daughters.
What an awesome oldie but goodie Hawaiian style band from their Rhythm of the Ocean album, produced in 1994, which is when I think they laid the cable across the Pacific Ocean. That's right, we never have TV, remember before. We didn't get our oceanic cable till 1994, and that's when this album was produced. It's called E Holokai. And you know what? When you're feeling down and troubled, and you need a helping hand, just go on the ocean, right, Hoku?
I
Ooh, I'm so stoked I get to be in Ha'ena for the last part of the week. On Wednesday, I come do radio, and my generous friends from Eugene and Veneta have rented a house in Ha'ena, and they allow me to come and stay there. And it's just awesome because I can just walk to the beach. I get beach access. Whoo, how's that, Hoku, when Hawaiian with beach access? I can go to the beach and just breathe and be on the beach where it's not like infested. You know what I'm talking about, right? You can actually be. And so really, really grateful and saying aloha to my friends over in Oregon this morning, listening in, recovering from the Oregon Country Fair. And I hear that over there, the favorite thing that some people like to do at the Oregon Country Fair is ride a bicycle in a costume, high on mushrooms. Does that sound fun? All right. So I got my cousin Hoku Kabibi in the studio with me, and you know, life is really kind of hard, and lucky we live in paradise, but they want to kill paradise. Yeah, Hoku. Isn't that just like...
Stop poisoning paradise.
Ooh. Did you see that, what's his face, the birth defect mayor, is nominating the Syngenta defect spokeswoman? I'm not allowed to say names anymore. Wait, I gotta play the disclaimer, Troy. I don't want to get in trouble again.
The views and opinions expressed during this
Tell 'em,
program
kiddo.
are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of KKCR, its management, staff, board, members, volunteers, or underwriters.
All right, so we all know, right, that what comes out of my mouth is nobody else's stuff. It's just my
Okay. My words, my thoughts.
That's
my
right.
deals.
Your thoughts, my thoughts. And so anyway, what do you think about that?
Heavy. So heavy. I wish I could have gone out there this morning, and you know that is why I kind of came out this morning. So thank you, Kaiu, and mahalo KKCR and all the funders who donate so that we have a place to come and, you know, express our opinions and our views and our eha, you know, because that's what I feel about this morning and what's going on. And you know, I think maybe a lot of Kauai sometimes don't feel the same way as I do, because you know we have Earl Kanashiro sitting on the county council, and
wait, you can say the names. I just can't.
Okay, Kalamai. So we have, you know, Grove Farm employees sitting on our county council, our biggest land develop, you know, and we vote them in. So I'm like, how does that happen?
We don't vote them in. That's the thing.
Well,
it's all
kind of did, but
you know. It seems like in all of the, you know, the political system of the Western model of the big continent that was stolen from a bunch of natives a couple hundred years ago. They're in trouble, and then by extension we're in trouble. I was interviewed by John Kane a couple weeks ago, and he's got a show in New York. Native American dude, really awesome show, but you got to get up at 4 a.m. to listen to it. But I tell you, it's worth it, and I've got the link posted on Songs of Sovereignty. But he said one thing. They were discussing, you know, the presidential election and everything going on. And he said one thing. He goes, I don't care who's president. For Native people, he says, as a Native person, it's just always been bad. And it doesn't matter for us Natives.
Yeah, it's looking, pretty scary coming up, either with Trump or Clinton for, you know, and that's why we say, like,
clump.
Yeah. You know, they preempted our county bill, you know, against Bass Syngenta, the one that these companies are suing us for, where their representative now wants to sit on our water board.
That's what's so insane.
Like, that's so
Syngenta
crazy.
is suing Kauai County. She's their spokesperson, and the mayor nominated her to sit on our water board. Where are the families, the Hawaiian families, that had the water kuleana in the different areas? Yeah. Why are these so-called powerful men, you know, they're not weaklings, these Awai people, right? Where are they? That's what has to happen, in my opinion. The families of the island need to step up and go, we don't want a chick that's eating poison corn every day and feeding it to our babies, sitting on our water board while her company sues our county. I mean, it's just nuts. Where's all the powerful families around here? They were bragging at the Kamehameha Day parade, bringing back the families. Where are they? I'm calling them out. Come out, families, because we in trouble over here. We need you to step up, whether I'm crazy or not. That's not the point. We need you to step up and assume the role that is your kuleana, is your mo'oku auhau, and you know who I'm talking to. If you're listening and this is hurting your feelings, guess what? I'm talking to you. So get off your couch, turn off the TV, get off your couch, and take some action, all royal families of the island. Okay, now, friend. So you're here to talk about, well, we got other families going on the North Shore, but you're here to talk about yet more desecration.
Well, there's a few things going on right now.
Okay, going.
Yeah. There's definitely a few things going on. Last night we had the Black Pot Master Plan meetings down in Hanalei. at the school at Hanalei Elementary. I unfortunately was not able to be there. I did have to hana, but I believe they are taking comments right now. So I just wanted to let people know. If you didn't get to go to the meeting, and one of my friends said, I don't know, there's only like 7-12 people there.
Because people never know when this stuff is going on.
Not only that, I said they feel disenfranchised. Why are we going to go? They don't listen anyways, what I hear a lot of the time. And even I feel some of the time as well. So definitely blackpot.com /plan-alternatives online. You can check that out. Facebook had a bunch of messages going out yesterday. So you can definitely check that out. You've also got Hawaiian State Master Plan going on this weekend, this Saturday, July 23rd, out at Hawaiian. I believe they're doing an open house down at KA to kind of...
What does that mean?
They're going to go show you what their new plans are.
Are they going to serve brownies?
Probably
coffee
better than that.
Like an open, when you go to an open house, it's like, if we serve brownies, it smells good. They go buy the house.
Yeah. So that's going on Saturday for anybody who wants to get involved.
What time?
I believe it's in the afternoon, or to tell you the truth, I'm not even real sure of the time. It's going to be about 5 or 6 hours long. I believe in the morning, 9 to 4.
Just go down to KA and look for the state cars, whatever.
Yeah, I guess so.
Look
or
for
go
the
online.
Look for the Ren Spooner
shirts. Get involved,
shirts.
and that's what I'm here to say. I do sit on the Hawaiian Advisory Master Plan Board meeting, but I'm a very, very new member. And I just kind of went to figure out what was exactly going on because I wasn't sure. So I do a lot of my own research, and that's what I'm here to just let the community know, and that they do need to do their own research. So go and please find out what's happening, what's going on. That's really why I'm here, to encourage our community to get involved, because, if you're not playing the game, you're getting played.
We was played long time ago, sister, I tell you.
So yeah, just trying to encourage everyone to please, and also you, Kaiu, thank you so much for all you do, and just wanted to come encourage you this morning as well, because I heard you was, having a rough couple of weeks, but stick
it's been rough for a long time.
It's been rough for a long time. That's what I told you.
Mm-hmm.
You've been swimming for a long time. Just keep swimming.
Good thing I'm a mermaid. A shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing that info out, and I want you to stay on the mic with me, because I want to talk about some stuff, other stuff.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
So, in radio, they teach you that the best way to reach your audience is to tell a story to one person. So you're talking to a lot of people, but you're telling it as if you're only speaking to one person. That's why having you here is really good, because I want to talk about my trip to Washington, D.C., our Red Ribbons journey. But first of all, I want to say a big aloha to my ohana over in Schaffhausen, Schwyz, Switzerland. Just tuned in a few minutes ago, and oh my God, you have no idea how much I love Switzerland and how much I miss it there. It's just an awesome country. Of course, they don't grow their poison corn over there. They're growing them over here. They're smart. The Swiss are smart that way. But I want to say a big aloha to you this morning over in Schaffhausen. I have really fond memories. We had a little cottage in the forest. Over there in the fall, everyone goes and looks for mushrooms in the forest and truffles, So we had this little, it's called a Waldhütte, and you go stay in the forest, and then every day you go out in the forest and gather mushrooms, and then you dry them and keep them all year. So that's a Swiss thing. And yeah, I miss Schaffhausen. It's a great place where the Rhine Falls are, huge waterfalls. The kind, you ever seen a waterfall that's so powerful you don't want to get too close? You're just like, whoa, don't go near the edge over there, So, aloha to our friends over in Africa on the Ivory Coast listening in. We got the Ivory Coast listening in over in Africa. Mama Africa, mahalo nui for tuning in.
Aloha kako.
Aloha, and our Japanese cousins, our Canadian faithful Canucks, idle no more. They're always listening, and we just love you guys over there in Canada, and I especially love your beer over there. And who else is online here? It looks like we had Germany and Austria tuned in as well. Österreich und Deutschland und die Schweiz. What's funny about all three of these countries is they all speak German, But if you listen to their pidgin German, like how we have pidgin English, you not can understand. That's why they have the High German, and then they have their dialects. But great countries listening in this morning. 8 different countries around the world listening to Kauai Community Radio. Whew. What a compliment. Mahalo nui. The world is listening. So, okay. So, Hoku, you know I went on the Red Ribbons tour with Liko Martin. And Liko is over here on Island MIA. I think he's... I think they're kuleanaing a waterfall. Okay, more on that later. But we went, and they actually started their journey in San Francisco 3 weeks before I got there. And they went across the country, the United States, on a train. And so I'm going to just read a little bit about it from their website. And it says, the Queen's Red Ribbon Letter was her official protest filed by hand in Washington, D.C. in 1897. Since the Queen's letter was filed at the U.S. Department of State in Washington, D.C. on June 17, 1897, it has been held by the National Archives. All formal copies are certified with a red ribbon of authenticity, showing that our protest is, in fact, still in their hands, still awaiting an answer. And earlier I played for you Mike Young's song, Our Queen's Unanswered Prayer. And so she's still waiting for an answer to that letter, America. Okay, it's over there now, twice. Okay. So the red ribbons also symbolizes the blood that flows through our veins and connects us all to the past and to the future. This is the blood of Kanaka, who have been connected to the land since time immemorial, and the blood of all humanity, which connects us all through love, truth, and the reality that we are all the same living beings upon a planet that desperately needs peace and balance. It should be noted that Liko and Laulani tried to follow the spirit of the Queen's journey rather than the exact route. The train routes are different now, but she got first on a ship and sailed across the Pacific Ocean, which in that time took months to get across that ocean. It wasn't like now you 5 hours, you're going to San Francisco. Months on a ship. Yeah, not a fun journey, let me tell you, going by ship across the Pacific Ocean. And then she got to an area near San Francisco and got on a train and went all across the United States. Amidst the turmoil of the violent occupation by the self-proclaimed Republic of Hawaii, which was an all-white militia government that had invaded Iolani Palace in 1893, and following her release from imprisonment for her traitorous acts against the occupying government, Queen Liliuokalani traveled to the east coast of the United States by train from San Francisco. She needed escape and respite, and she needed to be closer to the capital, where the discussions over annexation were raging. Along the way, she played music at many events and was honored as a great composer of the era, and she touched the hearts of the American people with stories of Hawaii and what was happening in her homeland, as well as with her beautiful music. She also continued to protest the wrongful taking of her homeland by people to whom it did not belong. She stood firmly against annexation all the way and filed an official letter of protest with the U.S. Department of State on June 17, 1897. This was in conjunction with a petition of 38,000 signatures of the people of Hawaii, the majority of Hawaiian citizens at the time, who were protesting annexation. Lili'u returned to her homeland the following year, again by an indirect route, and again touching the hearts of all the people she met along the way. And what's really amazing, so fast forward to June 17th, 2016. So it was 119 years to the day that I was standing across the street at the Department of State in Washington, D.C., watching Liko and Laulani file her letter again. I get really choked up because I could just really feel her the whole way. Like when I was flying over during the day, you can, out the window, you see the the countryside. I got to see the whole United States. I flew all the way across. And you got to see all the huge rivers and lakes and deserts and the salt lakes. And, you know, all I could think about the whole time I was there was how she felt, you know. The lives of her people threatened, her home stolen, yeah. All of her assets frozen. And here she is making this journey. And it wasn't comfortable back in the day. Like, we get air conditioning and GPS and all that kind, cell phones, you know, we can stop at, you know, stops and get food or whatever. It was not like that back then. And she had literally been stripped of everything. And maybe that's why she could do what she did, you know. But when I stood across the street and I was watching Liko, and I love Liko. He's been doing this for so long for our people. And it was so surreal. It was like, what? We're over here doing her letter again because they never answered the first time. And so we filed the letter. I filmed it, got to do a little live stream. And we got treated with so much aloha, by the way, the whole time we were there. I mean, way more aloha than you get at the fake state crap atoll over here. You know, when you go try to talk to like and they won't even look you in the eye, or, you know, it wasn't like that at all for us over there, which is, again, because of her precedent that she said with her aloha the whole way. And so then after that, then Dr. Kalama Niheo, I love you, Tira. Dr. Kalama, awesome lady.
Aloha.
And she's going to be coming here in August to do our Aha Aloha Aina for Kauai. And it's long overdue. We got to catch up with the rest of the archipelago, I think so. But we are going to, because, you know, Kauai, we're full force over here. So Kalama, after they filed the Red Ribbons letter, she filed the Aha Aloha Aina portfolio, which talks about the kino. It is the civil polity, the Hawaiian system of governance. And you can check that one out at ahaalohaaina.com, or you can check them out on Facebook too. There's an Aha Aloha Aina Facebook page. So she filed that portfolio after. And then we hung around for a while and took pictures and everything. We wasn't supposed to take pictures with the cops, but we did. And they were all smiling. And I passed out tons of salt. And I want to say big mahalo to Uncle Louis, my cousin Louis Kabibi, and Guy Holt sent me over there with choke loads of salt and different colors, so I could put them all in different, you know, little packages. And I had brought tea leaf lays, and so, you know, we were able to share the aloha all the way over there. I even took poi hoku, and I'll tell you about the poi in a minute. Kalamai, I have a frog. Oh, you know all about that poi, right? It's the Ono one. And so we did our thing at the Department of State, and then after, we're kind of like, you know, in the balloon, all the air comes out. We're looking at each other like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Well, we had to meet at the Smithsonian at 12 o'clock, and we were going to do this march all the way to Upper Senate Park, which is, I would say, maybe 8 or 10 blocks if you've been to Washington, D.C., and it's a very slow incline uphill route. And about halfway through, you pass through the middle of the nation's capital on one side, you know, America's capital, with the only place I saw an Indian was on top of that building. There's a winged Indian on top of the White House. And then on the other side is the National Monument, you know, the big monolith. So we go over to the Smithsonian, and we're greeted by all this press, all these media people. But interestingly enough, no mainstream media was there, and no Hawaiian media. I was it. So, but we were interviewed by the Iranian press, by the Russian TV, which is a big station. We were actually made their news that night. A few other like media watchdog type of journalists. There are quite a few journalists there. And so, you know, we did our little interviews for about a half hour outside the Smithsonian. And then Liko strapped on his thing that he puts his, you know, his harmonica. Yes. And started playing music, and we had our signs and our flags, and we just started our little leisurely stroll up towards Upper Senate Park. And we stopped outside of the museum to visit our long-lost Ohana member, Apohaku, Kanepo, which is from here. Somehow, I don't know how these people think in their heads. They wanted to just take one big rock from over here and take them over there, and it means something to us. But, millions of people walk past that thing and they don't know what it is. It's just a big rock, So why take it? But that's the American way. So we went to Kanepo and we left offerings of salt. And Laulani had a little thing of salt water, which she poured, and we had tea leaf and some olena. So we did our little offering and hugged our rock. We're rock huggers, right? We are. And then we continued our way up, and I had brought from Kalia Farms 2 big 2-pound bags of poi. And so we made poi, and she made salmon, and we ate fish and poi at Upper Senate Park at the end of our march. And plenty of Hawaiians came down that live over there and joined up with us. And they're like, oh my God, poi, oh my God. And I also had given a bag to the lady that we were staying with, Auntie Joni, and she works at the National Archive. That's who got the red ribbon letter. They worked on getting that. I mean, millions of microfiche, right, to search. Yeah. So we had fish and poi in Washington, D.C.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was just really, but watching Liko and Laulani, and they're playing music every step of the way. Everywhere we went, they just played music, and whether there were 5 people there or 50, they played with the same aloha, just.
That's so my uncles.
Yeah. Yep. So the next day, we did our performance at the Smithsonian, and that's where I met Doug Herman. I introduced you to him. And he has a website, pacificworlds.com. And, for a poe haole, he's fluent in Hawaiian. And what he's trying to do is kind of create a curriculum and an informational website about ha'ena that is told by cultural practitioners, not from his mouth, but from the people who actually live here. So it's a pretty cool, you can check it out. And he's always open to suggestions and working on it. And I got to hook him up with some new cultural practitioners while he was here. But we met up with him at the Smithsonian the next day. And when you go through that museum, it's like, okay, this is a Native American museum. First of all, when you land in Washington, D.C., everywhere you look, there's TV monitors, and it's just kind of spewing hate about the immigrants because it's all like Fox News and all these news. And so you're walking down through the airport, and everywhere you look is Muslims, and Ethiopians. Like, you don't see hardly any white people in Washington, D.C. It's crazy. Everyone is a person of color or an immigrant. And all of the people in service jobs there, from the taxi drivers to bartenders, waiters and waitresses, shop people, they are all people of color, not a white one to be found, unless they're Russian girls. Now, have choke Russian girls serving as well. So it's kind of trippy. You're walking down the airport and you're thinking, I am in like it's rated XXX for terrorism, right? And then every 5 feet, there's a TV talking about how ISIS is here and the immigrants are the evil problem. And then everywhere you look, there's like Muslims and people of color. And you're going, should I be afraid now? So it's kind of a trip. And throughout our visit, those were all the people we really interacted with, were people of color, immigrant, the so-called Donald Trumpers immigrants, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of really trippy in that regard. And then on at the Smithsonian, when you go to the gallery where it has the Native American exhibit, there's a whole line of their flags, all the tribal nations. And it hit me. Why was our exhibit at the Native American Museum? And as much as I love Doug Herman and I appreciate his spirit, because the sovereignty exhibit was downstairs. And like I said, our own museums here won't even say that word. And here in Washington, D.C., in the United States Capitol, there's this huge exhibit about Hawaiian sovereignty. But it was strange that it was in that particular museum, number one, because they're trying to make us into an Indian tribe, right? So why not put us over there? And number two, there was a timeline that started with the overthrow and ended in 2011 with the Native Hawaiian Commission role. And this was the timeline of Hawaiian sovereignty. So I really had issues, and I was torn because there was a replica of the Ku'e petition there. There was, like, they didn't hold anything back about the treasonous missionary plantation owners and what they did. Like, it was very, very true to fact, political fact about what happened. And then at the very end of the gallery, you could sit and watch a film and listen to Kaulana Napua. And then the translation came on, and I'm like, oh, our own museums back in Hawaii would never do this. You know what I mean? They don't even dare go there. And here they're translating Kaulana Napua and talking about how we rather eat our rocks, you know? And I was just like, whoa. So it really struck me when we were there, Biko and Laulani were playing music, and I was their MC, that they had made some room for our flag amongst those tribal flags, you know, those tribal nations. And our tribal brothers over there, the ones that I talk to, they know why, and they're telling us, run for the hills. They're going, don't go for this. Don't let them put your flag over here, you know? But what really, I came away from Washington, D.C. thinking about those Native people. When you fly into Washington, D.C., you see the Pentagon, you see the Capitol, you see the monolith, you see all the buildings, you see the Potomac. But you can't help but feel for the people that used to live there. The millions of people that were there first, that are not there anymore. So, you know, really kind of a trip. It's an exciting town. It's really fun. There's great food. You know, I love to eat and drink. And then there's this underlining eha of, well, here's all the immigrants that we don't want. We don't want them here. They're the evil, but there they all are, you know. And then the blood of the innocent people that are underneath everything that's there now. So you can feel that kaumaha, you know. And the last night we were there, we performed at the Code Pink House. And if you want to see some ladies that know how to throw a good protest, you got to check out the Code Pink ladies. And they're all ladies of different ages, you know, different ethnicities, transgendered ladies, and they let men in too. And their whole thing is they wear pink, and all their signs are on hearts. And I got to go in this house, and in their cellar is like this huge workroom factory to make protest signs and protest props. So, yeah.
Nomi needs one of those.
Yeah, we need to do that for Babes Against Biotech. Nomi, you got to check out the Code Pink House. Check it out. I was so stoked because I love pink. I wore my pink Tamba hat. So, yeah, Tamba was at the Code Pink House. They were celebrating the right to smoke marijuana at the Code Pink House. So we get there, and they have trays of cannabis-infused pastries, like delicious. I didn't want to eat too many because then what? You're not going to come down. But so, you know, I had a little carrot cake, cupcake, and another little like lemon torte. And then I was feeling really good because it's better if you eat it. It's great medicine for aches and pains, right? Then they had their elixirs of like these cannabis-infused drinks that taste so good, and they're fresh juices. And they gave me one for my flight the next day because, as you know, most of my trip I was on pins and needles because my son was on life support. He had gotten really sick while I was gone, and I couldn't get back any earlier. So being there that night was really great. I left the next morning, and then they gave me one of those elixirs to drink to get me through the airport trip. And I did. I flew right through. So I get there, Hoku, to the airport, Washington, D.C. And there's a long line of dark people in scarves standing in line. So I just, you know, I had drinking my drink in the taxi, and I go stand in the line, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go through security now. And then this brother comes up behind me and goes, hey, what line is this? And I go, oh, I think it's security. And the woman in front of me with all her scarf, she goes, this is Air Ethiopia. I was standing in the line for so long. But, it was the whole experience. I would highly recommend for everyone to visit Washington, D.C. because here's the thing that all of the community members that we spoke to, they're absolutely for Hawaiian sovereignty because you know why? They want our star because they're not a state. They have no representation. So on their license plates, Hoku, it says taxation without representation. I'm not kidding. You know how ours says Aloha State or on the bottom? Theirs says taxation without representation. And everyone's real mouthy over there. The news is always playing. Everyone knows what's going on. And you can have really lively conversations with everybody. And it was really fun to be with our gang. And, when you join forces with your fellow activists and you go do something for your people, it's just really a gratifying experience. And before I got there, Kalama and Liko and Laulani went to the OHA office over there, and I was hoping Liko was going to call in and talk about that experience. And they also went to the Department of the Interior and gave them a copy of the Aloha Aina portfolio. So we did. It was really great, our timing, because we got there after Garner was there. So, Troy?
The views and opinions expressed during this program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of KKCR, its management, staff, board, members, volunteers, or underwriters.
So Ryan Garner was in Washington, D.C. with all her cronies and, living it up, 5-star restaurants, spending plenty money, and all of us are over there squeezing, because we're the true grassroots. So our timing was really good. We got there after they did their thing, so we were kind of like the punctuation, at the end of the sentence. Oh, yeah, they telling you that? No, it's over here. Here's the exclamation mark, right? So it was a really unbelievable journey, and I'm really grateful to Laulani and Liko for doing it. And if you want to see more about the Red Ribbons journey, go to likomartin.org, and he's got on here train chants for Lili Uokalani. So she had written a lot of songs along the way. And oh yeah, my internet's going away, whatever. So on this website, she has the rights of my people, the Ku'e petitions, the San Francisco article about her train departure, and her chants and songs that she wrote on her Red Ribbon journey. So really cool. Really glad to have been part of it. And that was Washington, D.C. We're hoping to get over there in January with Lynette Cruz guys and do some kind of cultural exchange and go visit the Department of the Interior and OHA and the Department of State again and let them know, hey, there's 90% of the Hawaiian people that want independence. We want our freedom. We want to be your friends, not your captives. And, Liko is such a good model for me because when he's talking to people, there were a couple of journalists there that were really downright, harassing him and Leon Siu was with us and trying to get a rise out of them. And, and Liko just said, hey, when you lie, cheat, steal, and murder, you can't help but feel the scourge of those actions. And that's what's happening in America. And we want to relieve you of that scourge. We want to be your friends, not your captives. So really, a great way of sharing that. Why don't we want to be American? Well, because we're your captives. We don't want to be captives. We want to be free. So anyway, that was my journey.
Love of country, right?
Love of country is dearer to every man than anything else. Yeah.
What an awesome experience.
Right
trip.
on, yeah.
And definitely. And that's why, it's so important for us here at home to do what we can as well, because we have people going afar to fight for our freedoms. So make sure you get involved at home here. Like I said, I just want to encourage everyone because there's definitely a lot going on around here that, forces from the outside coming in, trying to move us more in a, Danner manner, which we are not, Ma'atu is not our way, and just A'ole DOI. And if you can get involved in these committees and these programs and for some of these changes going around, I think it will really help because, you know, we do need the help. We're fighting for our aina and our areas around here. Literally. So if you can in any way, please get involved.
Girl, I just saw the big trucks up here on Hanalei Ridge bringing in all the heavy equipment to start developing this ridge.
There's a lot of development being proposed right now. A lot of people in the planning department, you know, emptying their pockets, making their deals, making their moves, and seems quiet right now, but I can assure you it's not quiet. A lot of development headed our way for, you know, for the North Shore. A lot of plans being made, so really need to get involved and help those who've been standing for a long time for us. And, you know,
if we just brought up a few of the things that are happening, starting with Ha'ena and KA, then Black Pot, Hanalei Ridge, there's Anini, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sorry.
A lot of development, a lot of plans.
Just do a development Circle Island tour, right? And then heading down to the east side, you have Coconut Marketplace. There's that huge grassy place where it all used to be grass. They're putting in 1,500 more hotel, or wait, how much? 350 more hotel units there. No infrastructure. Then there's Cocoa Palms.
Heard Hanamaulu's doing a development.
And they're building a bypass road that's eventually going to cross the river behind Cocoa Palms. What are they building right before Hanamaulu Bridge on the side of the road there?
I believe it's homes. I heard there's development going on over
right
there
on the highway.
Yeah,
wow.
So.
How very Honolulu-ish. Yeah. So yeah, if you just go take a trip, we won't even go to Poipu because, you know, Poipu has been ongoing, but it's just really a lot. And
we should go to Poipu, the Mahaloiapu Dairy out
right,
there.
Right. Okay,
yes,
we'll go. We go.
Let's
I didn't
there.
Want to add to my headache, but let's go to Poipu.
But definitely get involved. Either way, make sure. Wherever you're from on the island.
So there's a lot going on our island, and to top it off like a cake with a little candle on top, the Birth Defect Mayor has nominated the Poison Corn spokeswoman to sit on our water board. So if you're not having a nightmare by now, I don't know, maybe you're just numb.
That's happening this morning, today, down at the County Council building. So if you can go down there, I suggest you do and let them know.
Yeah,
we don't need
not
Syngenta sitting on our water board.
Unreal.
No, not at all. They can go to the meetings and share their thoughts in Mana'o like we all do. And then, you know, an unbiased panel can make a decision rather than having...
You really think so? Do you think they're going to allow that?
I said that's how it should be, but, you know.
Hey, this is a guy who stole, 14,000 gallons of gas a couple years ago, and he still got reelected.
Yeah. And the water too. All the water is stuffed on our island. It's crazy.
That's why we're all cray.
And that's why they're fighting for this water board so they can continue it. But we need to stop that. We definitely. Mayor Carvalho, can you please nominate people who care for our vai and our aina and our po'e e olu. Mahalo.
All right, so we got a few more minutes left in the show, and we're going to go back to the adventures of Leimomi. We got to lighten it up a little bit because it's bad news.
I got to head out too. So mahalo nui.
I'll see you tonight.
Me come
I love you, Hoku.
Love everybody. Thank you all for all your
All right, one more time real quick. Hanalei Black Pot.
Hanalei Black Pot, they're taking some... They've got 2 different plans out, and I think they want you to pick A or B, which plan you want. And then also they're doing a little survey, so you can go online. I believe there's a Black Pot Facebook page, Master Plan Facebook page, where you can go online and get all the information. Last night they sent out some paperwork, so I'm sure if you get a hold of the County of Kauai and ask them for the paperwork, they can probably email it to you or something like that. I don't know how convenient they are. But definitely the master plan for the Black Pot is out right now. Ha'ena State Master Plan, not sure if they're taking comments on that right now, but they are going to...
call them anyway.
Yeah. Check it out. Saturday, they're going to have a little public meeting and community just Mana also, if you guys want to head down to out to Ha'ena on Saturday, they'll be doing that, yeah.
Okay, great. Mahalo nui for being our eyes and ears and voice for the North Shore, because...
No, I'm just myself, like we said, our own eyes and ears, and
great.
Definitely, and anybody I can, koku or kako, always happy to do so, let me know.
Okay. Thanks, Hoku. See you later on. We're going to have a girl party later on.
Let's do that.
Okay, aloha.
Ahui.
Love you. And we're going to now lighten it up and finish the show, I've decided, because everything we talk about is kind of really not fun, even though we're trying to have fun while we're talking about it. We're going to go back to the Borinqui Nation, because it's been a few weeks since we've heard The Adventures of Leimomi, done for you by Frank B. Shaner. 25 voices. He does every voice by himself, and it's the story of the overthrow, and it's hilarious. So we're going to end the show with the Borinqui Nation, and we're going to do, I think, we have time for 2 chapters. We're going to go back a little in time to the Borinqui Nation. We did hear it before, but we're going to do them again, because actually that's my favorite chapter on this CD. So here we go.
As our story opens, Big Mac Kanak has made his way back to the camp. Both he and Kinky Bodinky are discussing the fate of one Francois Lapew. Start the music now.
Kiki.
Yeah, Big Mac?
He's all yours.
Mahalo. Oh, is that it? Stay tuned as we continue the continue. Hold it, Denise.
Huh?
Hey, come on, this is my big emotional moment. For crying out loud. Let me have my time in the sun.
Oh, I wish you people would alert me.
Okay, go ahead. Denise, can you put some emotional music on right now?
Oh, my goodness.
Big mahalo for that. Okay, go. Big Mac.
Yeah?
I respect you, brother.
Yeah?
You're the man.
Right.
That's why me and you, we make a good team,
Mm-hmm.
Big Mac.
What?
I'm excited, Big Mac. I am so excited about getting this French fry into my hands.
Oh, good for you.
I tell you, Big Mac. Hey, Big Mac.
What, Kinky?
Big Mac. Since riding with you, you've really given me some pride.
Yeah? Get to the point.
Big Mac. Hug me.
Oh, my God.
Come here, hug me.
No,
come on,
Kiki.
You're doing something for the Borinqui Nation.
For crying out loud.
Big Mac, come on, give me one hug. Come on, get over here.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, enough already.
Okay. Hey, Big Mac, you work out, eh? Okay, now where was I? Bobo! Tie this French fry down.
Wait a minute, Big Mac. You cannot turn me over to them.
It's all over, Francois Lapew.
What about the papers?
I know the truth about the papers, Francois. Kinky, take them away.
Right on, Big Hawaiian. Bobo!
Wait a minute! You cannot, Big Mac, you cannot do this!
C'est la vie, Francois Lapew.
I am your friend!
Big Mac, I get one surprise for you. Drop to your knees.
Whoa. Hey, stop the music. What's the matter with you anyway, Kinky? You losing your mind? This sun too hot or what?
Big Mac, I'm gonna drop to my knees. You drop to your knees. Drop now. Put your ear close to the sand.
Huh?
And listen to the harmonies that coming out from the ground. Put your ear down there. Okay, Big Mac. Tell me what you hear.
Nothing.
Listen more close.
Something happening.
Yeah, that's right. Listen.
What is that? What does that sound? Sound like one volcano.
Yeah, brother. Look! Over that ridge!
And there, off in the distance, what appears to be the entire Borinqui Nation heading directly towards camp. 350 stogies smoking pomade wearing Borinkis in tight pants with red bandanas. Also this afternoon, the Borinkis are wearing black hats and dingle ball accessories. There's
so handsome. Look at these boys. Oh, Big Mac's gonna be proud. Big mahalo to Kiki Borinki for helping him out. Stay tuned as we continue the continuing love saga of Love Island Style starring Lemomi. Aloha.
As our story opens, it's early dawn. Big Mac, Kanak, and Kinky Bodinky crawl to the edge of the pool to get a better look at the notorious Howley Boy gang. Start the music now.
Oh, you bugger sleeping, Big Mac. Everybody all pass out down there. I think right now is a good time, brother.
Alright, it's time. Alert the mean. Let's mount up. It's time right now.
Okay, Big Mac. All right, everybody. I'm the leader. Mount up. Okay, come on, let's go. Rodriguez, come on, let's go, let's move, come on, hey. We got a battle to fight here. Here we go, come on. Hey, forget that cigarettes, you're gonna be on horses already. What's the matter with you
Just
guys?
then, the
Let's go,
big
move,
Hawaiian turned around and faced the 350 Bodinkis. And in his most stirring speech, Big Mac said,
Hello, this thing on or what? Hello, 1, 2, testing 1, 2.
Big Mac, stand back. You give me some reverb.
Huh? What?
You losing the moment, You're supposed to grab him right away.
Huh?
No, turn the button, push the button. The button right there.
Well? Okay. Right, how's this? Hello.
Okay, how's it sound?
Okay, good. You on.
Okay, man. First of all, I just want to say big mahalo to everybody for coming out supporting me. I will never forget this moment. You're doing something good in your lives. You're going to be helping these people down here in Punulu Black Sand Town. Now, when I give the command, we'll move down the hill with full force, guns are blazing. We're going to surprise these buggers, okay? We're going to take the main headquarters right there, the heart of the operation. It must be done quick and fierce. Now, ready? On the count of 3, follow me. 1, 2.
Big Mac.
What?
Could I see you over here for a minute, please?
Huh? A window of opportunity right now. We gotta pass this up.
Please, Big Mac. With all due respect, come on. Can you guys see me here?
What?
Okay, Big Mac, the thing is, I'm kind of losing respect right here. I still the leader of this gang. I don't like pay big body because your body more big than mine. I just like to tell you this, I'm the leader, and I think it should be my responsibility to make the men move out.
Whatever.
Okay, we got that squared away, eh? All right, let's go back in front of me. Big mahalo, Big Mac. Can I give everybody give him a round of applause? That was a beautiful speech right there. Okay, I'm the leader. Okay, after we take this land back, we're gonna party, boys. Okay, on my count, we charge. Ready? 1, 2, 3, charge!
And 352 wild, crazy Bodinkis was racing down the hill, attacking the Howley Boy gang. Stay tuned as we continue the continuing love saga of Love Island starring Lemomi. Aloha.
The Adventures of Lemomi, only place on the planet you're going to hear it on the air is right here at KKCR on the Songs of Sovereignty. It is an awesome album that was produced in 1997 by Frank B. Shaner, and he does all of those voices. And of course, my favorite one is Kinky Borinki because, wow, that's pretty hilarious. Anyway, it's my Pauhana with the show. I'll be back next week. I think we're going to have Brother Guy Holt on next week. We're going to talk about Kuleana. And, earlier I was calling out the families and saying, hey, come on, you guys, get off the couch. Got to go do something around here. And this is a brother that, along with a lot of other brothers that work together. They go and they take care of the heiau. So we're going to be having him on the show next week. So hopefully you'll be tuning in next week for that. And until we meet again, I want to tell you my heart is for you, Kauai, and for the Hawaiian people, and for the Hawaiian kingdom, and for our freedom and justice. Until we meet again, malama I kekahi, malama pono. I love you. And I got to tell you, you're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea, K224CQ Anahola, K284AL Haleiwa, 90.9 FM Hanalei, 91.9 Island-wide, 92.7 Anahola Malawa'a, 104.7 FM on Oahu, 95.1 on the cable, and streaming worldwide on the web at kkcr.org. Programs like Democracy Now! Are made possible by listeners like you in partnership with the Greenery Cafe.